Hello everybody, my name is Thor and welcome back to Anthropology. Thank you for joining me in today's video. If this is your first time, welcome. I hope you enjoy your stay. Please consider subscribing. If you've never seen my face before, my name is Thor. On this channel I talk all about things consumption and I comment on them. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, please join our growing family. So in today's video, I wanted to do 5 affirmations and questions I ask myself when I am struggling with not buying something. So the reason why I want to talk about this is because I've been going through a bit of a personal journey, going from someone that didn't shop all that much to someone that was an admitted shopaholic, and I had a shopping problem for sure, to now someone that's coming out the end on the other side of that, where I am viewing shopping completely differently, and I'm looking back on my past behavior and questioning some of the things that I did, and hoping that I can help others get out of the cycle of constant consumption and just buying things that they don't really need. Because what I've learned throughout all of this is that while the rhetoric is often that buying things makes us happy, and through marketing and advertising, if we buy something, we'll then be happier for it, where I've experienced the opposite, where actually buying things makes me unhappy, and it fuels this sense of inadequacy and unease. So that is something that I want to talk about today. So if you're interested, please keep watching. Okay, so I've written down 5 things. So this is a mix of affirmations and questions that I tell myself. There'll be timestamps down below if you want to move around and see what's up. So let's get into it. So the first one, and this one is something that, so this all pertains into like discretionary consumption. So not if you need something, not if you need to buy like a fry pan, or if you need to buy, I don't know, like furniture. It's more so like, do you really need to buy that extra bag? Do you really need to buy that extra shirt? And you know, talking about luxury consumption as well, do you really need to buy luxury anything? So keep that in mind. So like the first one is, I already have everything that I need. And this one I think is really important to practice gratitude and have a abundance mindset over a scarcity mindset. For those that are unfamiliar, an abundance mindset basically boils down to the fact that if you view things in the sense that you have everything, you have a lot of things, you live in abundance, it makes it a lot harder to justify bringing new things in because you already have everything you need. But oftentimes through marketing, obviously like in Western society, we are conditioned to live in a scarcity mindset where we constantly need something else. We're living in the scarcity that if we don't get something right away, we're never going to be able to get it again. And thus it fuels consuming. So if you come from the abundance mindset and use the affirmation, I already have everything I need, it'll make it a lot harder for you to justify an unnecessary purchase. The next question, or this one's more of a question, not an affirmation, is why do I even want this? So when I was knee deep in my shopping addiction, I definitely did not question a thing. I just saw it, I liked it, I want it, I bought it. There was no critical thinking around the purchase. The best example that I have is my Celine Nano luggage tote, which I've since passed on, rest in peace, you know, love her. But when I bought it, I literally just saw it and I clicked to purchase, and suddenly I had spent over $3,000. And this was like peak pandemic when things were questionable as hell. And I was just spending money like it was nobody's business because I was like, well, I'm not shopping, I want it, but I never really questioned why I wanted it. And I never really questioned why I felt like I needed to purchase it. So that is something that I'm doing now. Why do I even want this? What purpose will this item serve in my life? And do I really need it? Is it something that is a want or is it a need? And oftentimes when you're in a shopping addiction, and like when I was in my shopping addiction, a want and a need became the same thing. It was very hard to differentiate between something that I needed and something that I just wanted. And oftentimes maybe it was even flipped. Things that I needed, I didn't want to buy. I didn't want to buy them because I needed them. Things that I wanted to buy. And I would buy them over things that I genuinely needed. So definitely questioning your purchases, questioning yourself before you buy something is top notch. Okay, the third one. Now this is in relation to things that you already have. So do I have anything similar? or something that fulfills the same purpose. So say for example, you're looking to buy a new rain jacket, but you already have a rain jacket at home. Why are you looking to buy a new one? Do you already have a similar one at home? Do you already have something that fulfills the same purpose? I got into this habit where I was buying messenger bags, just crossbody bags. That seemed to be, I was like, oh, that's the style that I like, I'm gonna buy more of this. But I had so many bags that fulfilled the same purpose that I ended up just wearing this one bag that I preferred the most multiple times, and then the other ones that I bought because they were, you know, a style that I liked or like similar enough where I felt like I would use it, I just never really wore them because I had one bag that I liked that I would just continue to wear, and the other ones were getting neglected, and I felt like I had to constantly consume more and more and more in order to like keep up with like the new trends and whatnot. But oftentimes, because I already had something that fulfilled the purpose, buying more of it just made them obsolete. Like I did not need them because I would not use them because I already had one that I liked. So definitely taking note of what you already have and whether or not something fulfills the same purpose, something looks the same, you know, whatever it may be. If you already have something that functions in a way that you like, don't buy something that functions the same way, which may be a no-brainer for some, but for others, have to learn the hard way. Okay, number 4, do I have the money available for this? Now, this one may seem, as I said, a no-brainer for some, but not for others, especially in the era of buy now, pay later services. So often, you know, people will purchase, you know, even on credit cards, purchase, and then when it comes time to pay the bill, they're like, oh my God, I actually don't have money for this, or they need to move money around. Whereas if you already have the money up front for something, it's a lot easier to justify than if you don't. And if you don't have the money up front for something, you shouldn't buy it, in my opinion. And this would have saved me lots of money in opportunity cost, in the sense that, in a personal example, so let's say when I bought the Celine Nano bag, I had the money technically, but it was in my emergency savings fund. At the time, I was like, there's so much money in here, I can just skim this off the top and like pay for it, and then I have the money. Wrong. Just because you have the money in some account doesn't mean you can afford something in another. And if I would have kept that money in there, if I would have continued to save, I would have had so much more in my savings, so much more interest would have accrued than if I just kept taking money out to buy it. So that was my personal example. I've not been into the buy now, pay later, you know, world. I haven't dipped my toe there, and I probably will not. But if you have, I feel like it's the same thing. You get sort of pulled in to purchasing more than you necessarily would have because they split the payment into multiples and it looks smaller. But then if you have a lot of these all being withdrawn at the same time, you can become fully overdrawn because everybody wants to get paid. So definitely setting money aside, and this is what I've done in relation to traveling. I have a separate small e-savings account that I put all my money in that I want to use for traveling, and then it makes it a lot easier to know what I can afford and what I cannot. So having different pools of money is really good, and especially good for shopping. I've also done a budget tracker. I haven't made it like a postable link, so none of you can use the template, unfortunately, but I think if you haven't done a budget tracker, doing one and figuring out where your money is going and what you actually can afford from the money that you're earning will be really good to help curb instances where you really want to shop and you know you shouldn't, or where you are shopping and you know you shouldn't maybe, or even if you don't want to shop and you know you shouldn't, it'll be a good reminder that your money, you know, a lot of us, we live online, but we're not making millions of dollars all the time. You know, we're making average incomes, we're making what regular people are making, and it's good to remind ourselves where we're at with our own money and what we can afford with where we're at. And then the last one, this one became really relevant for those that are unfamiliar. I recently moved into this space. It is a 1-bedroom, and I used to live in a 2-bed, 2-bath. And this is a 1-bed, 1-bath. And now I often question, where will I store this? Before, when I had an abundance of space, I wouldn't even think about where something would go. I would just buy it, and I would have faith that I would find a house for it in my house. Whereas now, I have such little available storage space, such little room available in my house, that before I buy something, I'm like, okay, but first, where is it gonna live? Because when it's not living on my body, it's gotta live somewhere. And it can't live in the closet, it can't live on the ground, like, it just causes more clutter. So understanding where that item will live when you're not using it will also be good if you're buying things that you don't necessarily need, or things that you shouldn't, or whatever it may be. If you're struggling with that, questioning yourself where it will live when you're not using it is really good to understand how much available space you have in your house, which also will take up your emotional space, because you have to clean, you have to take care of your space, you have to do all of these things. So understanding and questioning, using these 5 affirmations and questions when you're struggling will definitely help you on that journey. It's definitely helped me go from shopping addict to person that doesn't really want to shop all that much anymore. So that's my video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got some value from it. If you like these types of videos, if you like talking about our consumption, questioning why we do things in today's society, please consider subscribing if you haven't already. And yeah, thank you all for watching. I'll see y'all next time. Bye, guys.